Hi, my name's Pomby, and if you clicked on this video, you probably are wondering where I've been. What have I been doing? I feel like a lot of people recently found my stream, but I have been streaming on Twitch for 5 years in a row. That's a long time. During those 5 years, I've had jobs while streaming. When I first started streaming, I'd stream 12 hours every day. I know I don't have a lot of content on Instagram or YouTube right now, and that's because it's all archived because I feel like my old content doesn't represent who I am. I feel like I've changed a lot as a person, and I kind of just wanted to not give up on content creation, but kind of like start fresh and not give up, but take a step back and really work on myself. Um, when COVID happened in 2019, it was really hard on me. I became a degenerate gamer. I started door dashing a lot of meals. I stopped going to the gym because I couldn't go, and I kind of started drinking pretty often. Streaming is a weird job because, if anything, it's more fun when you're drunk, and chat is a bunch of enablers. So they'd be like, just have one truly, just drink one White Claw, just have one glass of wine. And it's really confusing because it's a job that you can get drunk at, and when you're drinking, people tend to have even more fun. So I started drinking a little bit too much. I started door dashing way too much. I stopped going to the gym. I stopped doing art. I stopped playing guitar. I basically just played video games. I ended up getting pretty depressed and gaining a decent amount of weight. Now, I'm not saying I was fat and ugly. I just was unhappy with myself. I've always been kind of an athletic person my whole life, so one day I woke up and I just kind of looked at myself and I was like, damn man. I was unhealthy and unhappy and I didn't feel like myself, and all the time I was creating content while I wasn't happy. So looking back on the content, I decided to archive a lot of it cuz it just was hard for me to look at kind of. This video has no rhyme or reason and it's just me ranting, so I hope you're okay with that. I feel like as far as YouTube goes, especially with everything that has happened with Twitch recently, I think it's really important for me to start YouTube and be consistent with it. And part of my problem that I feel like I've overcome is I'm somewhat of a perfectionist, so when it came to doing YouTube videos, I would spend so much time editing and recording and trying to make the perfect thumbnail, and then when I was finished with it, I hated it and I just wouldn't post it. So I'm gonna stop trying so hard at first. Maybe if I get a consistent editor or something like that, things will change. But as far as right now, not gonna try so hard. Just gotta put stuff out there. If you have continued to support me this past year, I know that I have disappeared for you know, 2 to 3 weeks in between consistent streaming. And if you supported me through this time, I appreciate you so much. I just kind of needed a year to kind of step back and grow and figure out who I am without the criticism of online, I guess. Um, when you're streaming consistently, especially when you go from being a little bit thinner and then gaining a little bit of weight, people always want to comment on it. And people would come into my stream and they'd be like, "Oh, you've gained some weight." And, it was just really hard for me. So I just kind of wanted to step back and kind of really grow and, I don't know, fall into who I am now, which I feel like a fucking, like, I feel so good. And for the first time in my life, I fully accept myself for who I am and fully love myself with makeup on, with makeup off, even if I'm having an off day. I used to be my internal, I feel like this is what happened. I feel like I was streaming and online so much, and especially in the World of Warcraft community, people in my chat would make so many negative comments during my Twitch streams, on my posts, trying to DM me, that it created a negative internal voice in my head where, like, how do I explain this? I could predict what people would comment on negatively when I would look at myself or if I would make a bad play. And that became a consistent internal voice in my head all of the time. And it became a problem. It was like I was my own critic. It was like the toxic Twitch chatter was like in my brain. I feel like I'm not explaining this right, but I had to like shut it off and realize no one is perfect. And anyone that's projecting onto me, they're not happy. And I'm probably, killing it. So fucking whatever, dude. So that was one main thing I had to work through. Um, I also started being consistent with the gym, started working out hard as fuck, started getting into bodybuilding, started meal prepping, and just kind of like, flourishing, baby. See, this is why maybe I should have written somewhat of a script because now I've been talking. It's only been 10 minutes, but I don't know what I've said. Hopefully, I've said enough. I feel like sometimes when I take time away from streaming, people just think I'm sitting on my ass doing nothing. Some days I am, sometimes I am, and I think that's okay. But I genuinely just was trying to figure everything out in my life. This is gonna sound stupid, but before Wrath of Lich King came out, because once Wrath is out, which is literally, super soon. I don't know when I'm posting this video. I'll probably post it on Wrath launch day. I'm not sure yet, but it's go time for me. Like for launch, we're gonna be live like every single day, and I just wanted to like figure everything out, like figure out my, you know, like bodybuilding goals, like figuring out what I need to be eating, figuring out what my workouts need to be, cleaning up everything, getting everything super organized, learning, taking a step back to like learn more about marketing, like some other projects that I'm working on, and all that good stuff. Also, a really scary situation happened to me, um, which I don't necessarily want to talk about in depth because I feel like if I do talk about it, it's going to do more harm than good, which is super unfortunate, but it just kind of made me think about everything I'm posting and what I'm doing and posting online in my day to day life and what information I'm putting out there. I absolutely needed to get sorted before I went back to streaming, and I also needed to kind of sit down. I had so many things recorded of like daily vlog type stuff, and I realized I can't just be posting my location on the internet. Like, my stream's grown a lot, and I'm very thankful for that, but with growth, and I feel like, you know, so I don't know, with growth you start to realize your mistakes, I guess. And I don't want to get canceled, bro, and I also don't want to get murdered or kidnapped. So had to make sure I really, think about everything I do and say and post. Is there anything else I need to say? If you are like Papa, if you followed me for like the past 5 years, I just hope you can see the growth in me, just like in my eyes. I've been so teary eyed. I'm so emotional. I'm an emotional ass bitch, okay? But honestly, I really hope that you can see the growth because I can see it. I'm really excited for this next year and like where I go with content because the whole problem with me before is I did not love myself. And how the fuck are you supposed to be a content creator when you're unconfident and don't love yourself, bro? I would post things and delete it, post things, delete it, post it, delete it, stream, delete it, tweet, delete it, post a YouTube video, delete it. So the cycle ends. Moving forward, and I feel good. So it's a year for growth, baby. We doing it. We doing the damn thing. Okay, we doing it. Okay. I guess like overall, the main point was I was trying way too hard and trying to be a perfectionist and beating myself up for absolutely no reason. And I feel like that's a huge flaw with content creation because when you put a perfect version of yourself online, all it does is make people feel bad about themselves. You know what I mean? So, I would like to show more of like a got me fucked up. Got me fucked up. I would like to show more of a raw, like unedited, just real ass version of myself online instead of trying to be perfect all the time. And, if people want to call me anything, I don't even care because I like who I am. And, I think that's all that matters. So, yeah. I mean, my main goal with streaming is to bring people joy and make people laugh. Like, that's literally it. I'm not trying to be a top tier gamer, even though I am. Hopefully, this video helped you understand me more. Maybe I truly just ranted, and I don't even know if any of this makes sense, but I'm just gonna post it anyways. The more I record and the more I do YouTube, my videos are only gonna get better, so whatever. Um, at the end of the day, I basically, to summarize, took a year to focus on myself, completely change as a person. I had a bunch of growth. I'm no longer depressed. I no longer hate myself. I made sure everyone in my family is doing good. My family honestly went through a lot this last year as well. Um, and yeah, I feel brand new. I feel really good and I'm really excited for this next chapter in my content creation life. And I'm so excited that I took time away to become the best version of myself, to be the best version of myself for you. Ooh.